What's going on, everyone? So Jalen Hood Schifino is having himself a season in the G League. He is absolutely dominating the game down there for the South Bay Lakers. He's coming off of a 38-point game in which he went 10 of 17 from the field, 5 made threes, and just a really great effort. Unfortunately, South Bay, they lost the game, but it wasn't because of Jalen Hood Schifino. He was fantastic. On the season in the G League, he is averaging 34.3 minutes per game, 21.7 points. He's shooting 48.7% from the field, 44.4% from three-point range on 5 attempts per game, 78% from the foul line. He's averaging 4.4 rebounds, 5.7 assists. The turnovers are a concern, 3.5 turnovers, half a steal, half a block, and is just, again, having himself a very good season in the G League. Now, look, I understand it's the G League. It's not the NBA, right? It doesn't translate always, but it is a very good sign that a rookie is going into where there are a lot of talented players in the G League and having himself and having his way with that organization, right? It usually is a good sign that it will eventually translate to the Lakers, right? When he eventually moves up, assuming he moves up at some point. It's very possible that he gets traded in the offseason, right? Lakers are trying to find that third star. Jalen Hood Schifino could end up being on the move. But if he is still on the Lakers come next season, then there is a real possibility that he could have an impact for the Lakers. And they could use it. Again, he is a 6'6" combo guard that could play the point, play the two, even play out on the three if need be in spots. Obviously, it'd be more ideal for him to play the point or the two guard where he'd have the most advantages, where he'd have the most mismatches. He's got good size, good strength, good athleticism, good foot speed. And again, he's 20 years old. He's still extremely young, still a lot of upside, a lot of growth, a lot of potential. I'm not saying he's going to come to Lakers next season and be, the Ja Morant 2.0 or anything like that. But these are really good signs for a player that many in Lakers Nation is down on, right? Look at Jaime Jaquez and, Cam Whitmore and guys like that, right? A lot of people are upset and disappointed. Like, why didn't the Lakers go and draft a Jaime Jaquez? Why didn't they draft Cam? Look at what these guys are doing on their respective teams. The Lakers could have really used that. Couple things. One, the lottery and the NBA draft period is a crapshoot. You never really know. You don't know what players are going to look like, what players are going to come out. I mean, all these guys, think of how many teams passed on these players, right? All for various reasons. And you never know, right? But also, the biggest reason, none of these guys probably, especially like Jaime Jaquez, Cam Whitmore, he's shown flashes, but he still hasn't even fully cracked Houston's rotation and stuff. But anybody the Lakers drafted this season wasn't going to play. They just weren't. The Lakers weren't planning on bringing in a rookie to come and have a big role. They don't even want Max Christie having a huge role. That wasn't even the idea. The idea in the offseason was we have and have kept all of our players that helped us go to the conference finals last season. We upgraded around the edges. We have a deep, versatile, championship-level team. Unfortunately, it hasn't really came out that way, right? Lakers are still struggling. I mean, they've been winning games heavily, but they're still struggling in the sense of they're still the 9th seed. But Jaime Jaquez might not be Jaime Jaquez if he's on the Lakers. And guess what? If he's not playing and he's not having the role, he was drafted to the perfect environment, perfect situation to a team that really needed somebody to come in and play a role. If Jaime Jaquez was just buried on the Lakers because he doesn't have a role and there's nowhere to put him because we have the team that we have, then guess what? Everyone would be saying, why did the Lakers draft Jaime Jaquez when they could have gotten Cam Whitmore? Or maybe Jalen Hood Schifino is playing for another team and he's actually playing well. And it's look at what Jalen Hood Schifino's doing for Miami. We could have used that. It's just how it goes. And to me, I'm willing to be patient and see how things develop. The Lakers didn't draft somebody for right now. They drafted somebody that they could grow, develop, build, and have as a potential key piece in the future. Also, look at Max Christie. Like, Max Christie showed signs and flashes, but he wasn't like this great, oh man, Max Christie, he's the guy. And then you saw the leap from year 1 to year 2. You saw how he became more confident, more fluid. His shot was better. Like, everything is starting to fall in line. And now he's looking like a guy that, bare minimum, could be a premier 3-and-D guy in this league. His ceiling, because again, he just turned 21. His ceiling is, maybe like a smaller Paul George or something, right? Somebody that can hit difficult shots, that can create for himself, create for others, that can defend and be a legit two-way player in this league. Right? The reason I say smaller is because Paul George is like 6'8", Christie is like 6'6". But, that's the idea. Jalen Hood Schifino, what does he look like year 2, year 3, so on and so forth? Even Austin Reeves, right? So many people think Austin Reeves is, the second coming of Michael Jordan, and it's like, okay, he wasn't that in his first year. It took him some time. He had his moments, he had his flashes, but also he was an older player. Jaime Jaquez is an older player. Jaime Jaquez is 23. That means you could literally develop and grow and build Jalen Hood Schifino for the next 3 years, and he'd be younger than Jaime Jaquez. And Jaime Jaquez is averaging, we'll be nice and rounded up, 13 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, right? If in 3 years, Jalen Hood Schifino is averaging more than that, then guess what? We got the better player. And he's younger, and he's more versatile, and he's more athletic, and he's got good speed, and all those things. My thing is, like, we're so quick to judge a draft pick when the Lakers have been fantastic at finding these guys. But also, I feel like many people aren't looking at the full scope and situation. They're looking at the Lakers. The Lakers have been bad, and we could really use a guy to come in and like a Jaime Jaquez or a Cam Whitmore or, some of these guys that were later picks that could maybe make an impact right now. But unfortunately, the draft is before you make all the roster decisions, right? And so the Lakers, their goal and their plan was not to be the 9th seed. Their goal and their plan was to be a bona fide contender, and they went and kept D'Lo and Reeves and Rui and Vanderbilt and brought in Cam Reddish and Christian Wood and Gabe Vincent and all these guys. No player that they drafted this year was going to get a real significant role. It just wasn't going to happen. So, and the Lakers knew that. So what did the Lakers do? Let's draft a guy that we're high on, that we like, that we can spend the next 2-3 years to grow, develop, and shape and mold. And then when we start shifting into the next phase, the next wave, guess what? Now Jalen Hood Schifino can come in. He's ready. He could be maybe your starting point, your starting 2 guard. Maybe he's your backup guard, right? But playing a real significant role, having a real significant impact. And he'd also only be 23, 24, right? Like, again, like, think of guys like even Austin Reeves. He's 25. Austin Reeves is closer to his ceiling than he is to his floor. Jalen Hood Schifino, we have no idea. He could end up becoming an all-star in a couple years. He could end up becoming, a top 5 player in the league at some point. Like, we don't know. All we know is that he is a rookie who's not going to get a real opportunity on this Lakers team. Jaime Jaquez has had bad moments. He's had bad games. He's had bad stretches. But Miami's allowed him to kind of play through that and figure it out and allow him to be in a position to do so. The Lakers wouldn't have been able to do that with Jalen Hood Schifino. The Lakers wouldn't have been able to allow him to kind of go through his lumps and have his bad games to kind of figure stuff out and learn the pacing and learn all the things. He's also not getting the reps that these guys like a Jaime Jaquez or Cam Whitmore or things like that are, because he's in the G League most of the time. So he's not out here, running heavy scrimmages with the bench or the starting unit. He's just not. I'm not saying that he never has, and there's not times, but he's not doing it practice after practice, night after night, game after game, day after day. Right? It's just he's not going to get the opportunity, and he never was, and that's the whole point. The Lakers drafted for the future. They didn't draft for right now. And again, we'll see if he's on the team in a couple years, because the Lakers, again, if they try to draft somebody, but don't be surprised if he ends up going to Atlanta and Atlanta kind of lets him go through his lumps and he actually becomes a really good player. Again, I'm not saying that he will be a top 5 or will be top 5. I'm saying I don't know. He's a 20-year-old kid who's in his rookie season on a team that he's never going to get the opportunity to do anything with, at least this season. Let's see what he looks like when he's 23, 24, 25, when he's supposed to start really like being somebody. You know, could he be out of the league? Sure. Maybe he isn't the guy and he's not that guy and he's terrible. But there's also a real possibility that he is that guy and that he is great and he does figure it out and he is a real like key piece on this Lakers roster and he really does figure the things out and he really does emerge as the player we need him to be. The Lakers are extremely high on him. All the players, everybody that's seen him actually in practices, in plays, and everything that have all said that, no, the kid's going to be great. Kid's going to be special. Kid has a lot. Now, could that just be, the company man answer and them, like, what are you supposed to say? I get that. I do. I get the idea of, like, they're not going to be like, oh, no, Jalen Hood Schifino just isn't it. He's trash. Like, I get that. But, again, he's 20 years old. Give the kid some time. Let the kid figure some stuff out. Let's see what he looks like and what the strides are between this year and next year. If it's like nothing and he's just, that's assuming he gets the chance. But, if you still don't really see any improvements and he goes into summer league and he's just like rough out that, well, then maybe we'll have a different conversation. Maybe it will look different. Maybe we'll be in a different situation next season, right? My old thing is like, let's just wait and see. Let's see how it plays out. Let's see how it works out. Let's let the kid figure things out. He's looking great in the G League, which is a great sign. Usually guys that are clearly better than the G League are some form of NBA talent. So at least the Lakers drafted some form of NBA talent. Where will that be in the range? Where will that be at the scale? We'll see. We'll find out here shortly. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. I pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? Do you agree with my points? Do you disagree with my points? Do you think, give the kid some time. He was drafted, right? He wasn't going to get an opportunity. He wasn't going to roll. Or do you think, no, he's supposed to stand out in the 3 minutes he averages in the race? Again, he's not getting the minutes, not getting the time. I don't know how you look at Jalen Hood Schifino and immediately assess the player that he is. Again, I don't know how you do that, right? Like, he hasn't gotten the minutes. He hasn't gotten the role. He hasn't gotten the opportunity. But anyway, I'd love to hear either side of it. Let me know down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. Lets me enjoy these types of videos. Truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.